as P mentioned, he started driving down to New Orleans fairly often. And this one time, right, he comes down. Now, at this point, I was still living with my mama. And, he would come crash on the couch, crash on the floor, or whatever, right? So this one particular time, he came down. We kicked it. We went out and just rode around, did some shit, came back to the house. And for the next 2 days, I started like working on this beat that we were gonna rap to, right? So my mama comes up to me on day two, is like, "Where's P at? I haven't seen him in a couple of days. Is he still here?" Like, yeah, he out in Opelousas somewhere. And then same thing I said earlier, and my mama being in Louisiana was like, "Where? Opelousas, man. It's like, past Lafayette. What the fuck's he doing out there?" Like, oh, some girl he met on what was it, Black Planet or MySpace or something.
Yeah, it was Black
So I was
Planet
like,
back
yeah,
then.
he just went out there to go to a funeral or a wedding. It was a wedding. He just went out there
It
to
was a
go to a
wedding, yeah.
wedding. Why the fuck's he going out there to a wedding? Like, where's he staying? Like, I don't know. I think he had a hotel, but I don't really know. You should maybe check on him. Like, nah, man, he be all right. Like, this motherfucker comes down here and disappears and goes like 3-4 hours away for like 2 days and thought that was like, yeah, that's normal. That's all right. I'll just go to some strange broad sister's wedding. And so then, anyway, he comes back. He's
I
like,
didn't know any of those people.
yeah, you was lunching, man. Come back and was like, yeah, man. I think I need to stop telling women what they want to hear because I think she thinks we're gonna get married now. And like, why would she think y'all gonna get married, man? Cause I might have
Oh,
said it.
hold on. That was let me make this clear to everyone out there. Life lesson, okay? Life lesson. Don't make it a habit telling women what you think they want to hear if you have no intention of actually living up to those promises. I had no intention.
Like,
I
yeah,
ended up at some weird wedding. I mean, it was strange. I ended up on some southern plantation at a wedding reception. I didn't know anybody there. I'm eating boudin balls and I didn't even know what the hell I was eating at the time. And oh, Dan, do you remember how I ended up getting out of that situation?
yeah, that's what I was. Well, not that particular situation, but man, I remember how you dated the situation as a whole, and that shit was funny. Man, this Bama came back and was like, "Yeah, man, I'm not going to tell women anymore, man." Like, see, I don't know, he got scared straight out that joint because she got like, I guess, real attached and real clingy. So mind you, he just literally said, "I'm not going to tell women what they want to hear." Hey, man, could you do me a favor? Yeah, what's up, man? Can you go on MySpace and just tell I got locked up for murder and I'm gonna be locked up for like 25 to life? So I started laughing. I was like, nigga, didn't you just like say you wasn't? All right, man. Yeah, I got you. So I get on MySpace and I tell her, I'm like, yeah, I just, P wanted me to tell you that he got locked up and he kept like throwing hints at her. Yeah, I might be going to jail. I might be going to jail. Yep, I might have done something. Like, nigga, if you
I
killed
remember.
somebody.
I remember. I remember. I text this the early days of text, and I said, yeah, man. Like, I'm just trying to tell you, like, I ain't do it, man. I ain't do nothing, man." That was all I said.
Nigga was trying to build an alibi to get out of he tried to use murder as an alibi. Like, god damn, man.
And then I just popped back up on social media like 2 weeks later
Yeah, and
and
then
pretend like nothing happened.
she kept on hitting me on MySpace and was like, "Hey, I saw P was out cuz he's on like he's online now." Like, nah, that's just somebody else. So I kept telling him, "Hey, man, I'm getting tired of lying to this broad, man, cuz she keep on fucking inboxing me like every fucking day." Yeah, man, just tell her whatever you want. So I think I started making up weird stories and shit. I don't even remember now. But yeah, man, that shit was funny, man. Like, what made you think that it was okay to go to some really strange place very far away and nobody there? Man, weren't you afraid of getting set up and robbed or jacked or some shit?
Well, see, that's the thing, right? I didn't get afraid of that until I got there. And when I got there, I said, "Young, I probably shouldn't be out here." That was in Lafayette. It was in Alexandria, Louisiana.
God
No,
damn.
Lafayette, Louisiana. No, it was one of those two. Regardless, once you've been to one, you've been to both. And
Yeah.
well, all right, Dan, I got something for you. I got a situation for you. I think you remember
All right.
how we used to ride around at night all the time, and how we used to how you used to drive this time up and down Route 1 in Fairfax. And that one time when we was going about 90 on Route 1 by Telegraph Road, and you were trying to pass that person that was in front of us, but we ended up in the turning lane. And I remember looking at you because there was a car stopped in the turning lane in front of us, and the car that we were trying to pass was still in front of us too. And it was no slowdown. You stayed going about 80, and it was either we gonna crash into the back of this car going 80 miles an hour, or we gonna get over and we gonna live. And there was no what's the word I'm looking for? There was no protection measure, no cautionary measures taken in case those things didn't pan out well.
Yeah.
We both pretty much just said, "Fuck it. If this how it's gonna be, this how it's gonna be."
Man,
Luckily, we made it.
that joint, I remember that night, man. And like, it's funny because trying to explain the story to people, they don't understand when I say I had no choice but to accelerate towards a stopped car because we wasn't stopping. We was already going like 80. The speed limit's what, 45.
Yeah.
Heavy traffic area. So I jump in the turning lane and I look and there's a car stopped. I'm like, shit, there ain't a lot of room. I think then I turned to like overdrive off and just like gun that joint and barely made it. Like we're talking probably inches going like 80
Yeah.
plus miles an hour, man. I remember that shit. And we ain't say shit for like 15 minutes, young.
I know. I was like, I think the first thing we probably said was like, "Young, I thought we was gonna die back there." Let me tell you, the funny, I don't think you was drinking at that time anymore either. I don't think you were drinking anymore. But I remember that Dan used to do some things when we drove, and I just felt like, okay, well, shit, if he got it under control, I trust him,
Man,
and we still here.
I ain't
So apparently, you had it under control.
I ain't stopped drinking till I moved to Louisiana. So I was probably drunk as shit that night.
Damn,
We was about to be a motherfucking
you probably was
PSA.
drunk then.
Man,
So
so
you know how many fatal wrecks I ran at that intersection? I ran probably 3 fatal wrecks at that same intersection
that's because
over the
they
years.
ain't know how to drive.